I'm Captain Eddie Castle, and welcome to this week's meeting of Worldwide Woodturners. We're together to talk woodturning, and that's it. No politics, no religion, no attitude, no opinions, please. We want to talk woodturning. We want to talk to you about woodturning, and that's how this got formed. In September of this year, August, I'll get it right, of this year, I was at SWAT, and I was sitting there I just happened to be by Ruth now. She's an old friend. And folks, one after the other, came to me with the same questions and the same problems over and over and over again. And that's when it hit me is they don't live near a club. They don't have a mentor to go to. They can't look for information beyond what you get on YouTube. And believe me, some of that stuff is weird. Don't please unmute your mics if you're on with us. But that's where this got started. I came home after a long drive and said, we have to do something to help the beginning turner, the novice turner, the seasoned turner, the expert turner. I like to meet that guy. But all these folks that turn, because you don't just have problems or opportunities, you have solutions. And your solution may be one that Bob or Steve or Ken or Dane or one of those guys never heard of, never thought of. Who was it just now we're talking to about the box elder? That was Johnny Hughes. And he said it's been around a while. It was a little bit unstable, so he sealed it with Minwax wood hardener. And now when that soaks in, then he's going to go back to turning it. There's a bark inclusion in that thing, which means it's not going to be level smooth all the way around. It's going to be a very decorative piece. Now, Johnny telling you that he used that wood hardener from Minwax, that's one way, and only one way to do it. But there are other techniques that do it that you don't have to have a pressure pot or a vacuum machine or anything else. There's a handful of other methods. I'd like to hear from you guys what you do. And that's really important because if you explain what you do, I can say, Steve now understands how to do that. He's got a block of black walnut in the shop. He wants to turn it. Hey, I ain't turning black walnut. I got my bell rung on that one. But he wants to turn some black walnut. He'd like to stabilize it before he gets into turning it. So if we can help out that way, that's what I want to do. I told you can save the chat. Wait to the end of the program. I'll remind you one more time. And last week we did something where I gave you a poll. Now, I'm pretty new at the Zoom stuff, really. I don't have any grandkids to teach me how to do it. But what I found out was I'm going to do these polls, and then I have to tabulate the poll, and then you'll be able to see the results. So while we're warming up here, I'm going to throw one up for you. And this is a poll that you see and I see. And I'm going to launch it right now. And it's a pretty simple poll. It's going to ask you some questions about what you're watching right now. And I'm going to see them stack up. You got 55 folks out there. This is going to give us a feeling of where we're going to go. I got 2 more polls coming today. This is the first one. I'd like you to score it. You don't have to pay anybody, okay? Just score it and let us know what you like on the program, what you don't like. And that's also where our email that comes in play, because if you feed us some information on the email, we can use that to develop the program. I got to see if I can get back over here and find out who I didn't add in. I'm getting some information about folks can't get in. Okay, I'm letting everybody in. It's not up to me, it's up to you. So if you would vote in that poll, I want to look at what else we have. Oh, I started talking about this a little while ago. Professional turners jumping on board to Zoom to do things. And just now I heard from a guy in Detroit area wood turners that they're putting their meetings on the internet. So I asked him, can I get invited? He said, sure. And I have another club out of Tennessee that told me the other day they're going to start their club meetings on Zoom. And I said, can I join? He got back to me the next day and says, "Yeah, but our president said as long as you don't open your mouth." So yeah, you win a few, you lose a few. But I'm going to tune that one in. Yes.
I'm having problems letting the Thomas Bayard in from Tennessee.
Okay.
He keeps trying to get in.
I just hit him again to let him in.
Well, I did it about a dozen times, and
yeah, I don't know. Either that or it keeps popping back up. Doug Davis is in now. And it's Thomas again. Thomas, I don't know how we can fix that, but we'll keep trying. All right, I was telling you about people doing demos. We're going to get some stuff from Mark Soleil. Now, Mark's the guy that we talked about with the Ronnie. Help me here. With the product, Ronnie, you're not talking to me, huh?
Parfix.
Right, I gotta go.
Mark Soleil is the gentleman we've been talking about with the Parfix, and the main one we've been talking about is the 3408 because it's so easy to use. And I was explaining to somebody tonight how to get in touch with Mark Soleil. And the next couple of weeks, Mark has agreed to come on with us and do he's going to do, Eddie, he's going to do a short demo.
He's going to do a couple of demos, and he's going to tape them. He's going to get Frank over. He's going to do some demos, and Frank's going to do some demos. And they're going to make it short and sweet, and then we're going to add them to the program. But then we're going to bring Mark on for a Q&A because I got emails this week about what the hell are you talking about wood slicing? So Mark is a master of it, and he explains it really well. He's kind of gruff, but he explains it well because slicing gives you a better product to get started on when you start putting the finish on. So, but that's Mark Soleil. Now, since I went last Saturday, Ronnie and I attended a Cindy Droza program, and I tell you what, folks, you have to go long and far to find one better. She covered every technique, did absolutely no production, no politicking, no I'm using this kind of tool and you need to go buy that. None of that was in there. It was basic education about wood turning, and Cindy's doing it for more and more clubs. So if you're in a club and you wanted to see a great demo, suggest it to them because it comes in at a few dollars a head for her to put the program on. You limit it to 100. Right now she's limited to 100 people per class, and it works out really nice. You can ask questions. She takes a couple of breaks, and it's really good. Cindy's got the program. I see where Lyle Jameson out of Michigan is also doing those shows, and Lyle's got a little bit different concept or attitude to get to him right now. You can book in with Lyle. He's doing several programs a week. You can book in with Lyle and join one of his shows at cost. But Lyle's a really good turner, and if you're looking for somebody in hollowing, Lyle's the guy to hollow for you.
Trent Bosch is another one that's doing those type of classes as well, and he's one of the high-end hollow form makers and has his own tool lines as well.
Who's that, please?
It's Trent Bosch.
Oh, yeah. All right. Yeah. Trent's really talented. He really
is. He's got some good stuff going on.
Yeah. And that's what we're looking for, folks. This pandemic may be terrible for the nation, but it may also be pretty smart because we're all learning a different way to communicate and how to get around.
Glenn Lucas also is offering those. Glenn Lucas.
Glenn Lucas?
Yes, he's also offering online training.
Good. All right. That's good to know. Is he doing classes for clubs or individuals?
Both. He's doing individual, and he's been doing some in the last few weeks where they're like $9 or $10, 9 or 10 euros. It's about 15 US. And then he also offers the extended ones, for clubs and individuals.
Euros. That's as good as metric right now.
Yep.
AAW also has a lot
Yep.
of a long list of people that are doing this remote demonstrations.
There's Gordon. All right.
Hey,
Gordon,
Absolutely.
are you still associated? There's a bunch of outlaws in Texas.
pardon me?
Gordon, are you still associated with all those outlaws in Texas?
Of course.
All right. I understand that beginning of the month, y'all make a decision on SWAT.
I haven't heard anything other than middle of June.
Okay. Well,
it might be a possibility when they make a decision.
okay. You know, I heard this on Facebook, so hey, you know how reliable that is. But SWAT.
We're hoping for it, but they need about 500 people to sign up to break even.
Okay.
And normally we have about 1,000.
Yeah,
So,
it's one of the largest symposiums in the world.
Yep. Second largest, yeah.
Second largest. I tell you what, it's one hell of a great program. It is. And the other ones, we have all these extras and such. There are no extras at SWAT. You pay, you get. And it's really nice. Thank you, Gordon. Appreciate it. SWAT is the Southwest Association of Turners. They normally hold their symposium in August of each year. And I've been there 9-10 times. I went one time when it was Texas Turner 2, a long time ago. But it's a great opportunity. You're looking at national, regional, and local turners, all in different programs. And they bring in folks that can really, teach. And some of these guys and girls are really good. Yes, sir.
If anybody knows a Thomas Baird in Tennessee, I'd appreciate if you could give him a call. If anybody knows him, I'm trying to let him in, but I must have hit it 50 times, and he's having a problem.
Yeah, and if he has to, we can do it by telephone, because on the invite you can go by telephone if you can't do it by computer. The beauty of this program, and it changes. I can't wait till the 5 comes out, because every time I see a educational about the program, they seem to be taking it more and more. And if you're watching television, there's TV commercials all over the place with the little blips and stuff. They're in the same ship we're in too. This past week, I put up a picture of an ornamental piece I made 10 years ago on Layzilla. And as of this afternoon, I had 200 comments on it. And the question was, is Layzilla going to be shown on this program and how it works when it does? Yes. We will do that, but in a little bit of blocks, because if you ever watch grass grow, that's what ornamental turning is like. It really is. It's very precise, delicate work, and it takes forever. Ronnie went to a workshop with me one time, and the guy said, I'm going to back it out. What, 3/10,000ths of an inch, Ronnie? And he turned, Ronnie looked at me like, what the hell is he talking about, 3/10,000ths of an inch? I see Johnny Hughes has got his hand raised over here. Johnny, I didn't mean to ignore you. I didn't see it. Let me click it.
I just had a little question there. When you posted the polls, how did you do that?
Right through my regular server. It's on the bottom. I'm not getting anything. Antennas are not viewing the questions. Is what I'm getting a note on. I don't know. I followed all the rules in the guidebook and all, and this comes up constantly. I don't have any idea why it's not coming up. What I was asking is, do you like the current format? Do you want us to change? What can we do? Things like that. I got 2 more I'd like to get up today. All right, we'll kind of open the floor here a little bit. Who's got what? Come on, press the space button. Chat with us, let us know. Thomas Baird ain't giving up. He's still trying to get in. So press the space button and let's go.
I'm wondering if anybody can comprehend the species that I'm showing on my photo.
Is that you, Dick?
Yes, it is.
Okay, because I want to put that on a spotlight video so they get a better look at it. All right, and we got. I'd like to think it's sycamore, but I don't know. I like that grain at the top of it. I really do like that. How about some other guesses? Anybody want to put a guess in on that?
Not snakewood.
Snakewood?
It's not cracked. Can't be snakewood.
Sapelli.
Who said Sapelli?
Tim.
Nope.
Lacewood?
I think it's in the same family as lacewood, but this happens to be something I never heard of before. It's called fishtail oak.
Fishtail oak?
Correct. I think it comes from Australia.
Got
I
some
like
nice
the grain in it.
It's very similar to lacewood and leopardwood.
Yeah.
It's terrible to work with. It's like Purple Heart. It's very dense and very brittle.
Oh, that's the one where you don't see the slap by putting your finger up against it, right?
Right.
I lived with Purple Heart splinter on my hand for about a year.
Eddie,
Yes, sir.
can you send Thomas Baird a message? I'm trying, but it won't even let me send him a message.
No, not until they sign, then it won't show up on our program.
Okay.
Yeah, so if he's trying to connect and he's got an auxiliary speaker that's on, it will fail to connect.
Okay, great to hear, but I can't tell them that. But we get a hold of them, we can let them know.
Because I figured that out tonight.
Okay. I'm playing around with programming another camera. I wanted to show you folks some tools and some tips and stuff. And I can't do it with the desktop. It just won't work. But I have a really nice camera, and reading about the camera, it can output to the computer. And I bought another camera this week that mounts on a computer that will have the direct input to my computer. So we get some things in there. We can put up a gray sheet and show you some of these things we're talking about. Ronnie, do you have Project One along with you?
Yeah, I have it right here. This is, let's see, Eddie, can you spot me?
You're up.
There we go. This is something that we're calling a soft touch. If you've watched Eddie's videos, you heard the word.
Uh-oh, you cut out, Ronnie. Ronnie, I'm going to.
Okay, how about that? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you got me now. I got you now.
What I have here is a live center, and this is a block of wood. And what you do is you drill it and tap it, three-quarter 10. And in fact, after I finished tapping it, I even ran a little CA in there to harden the threads. And then after that, I let it dry and ran the tap back in, and the threads are real nice and secure. So what this does, when you're turning something, this keeps pressure on the piece instead of using the tip of the live center where you would put an indentation into your piece, whether it's the back or the inside or whatever. So the way this works is you take your live center and you stick, when you have a live center, it comes with this little rod. You stick it in there to lock it, and that's all you do is screw this on till it bottoms out. Pull the rod back out. Now when you come up to the back of your bowl or the inside of your bowl, it's wood on wood, and this is turning, so this is not going to mar your finish. You can use it after you finish a bowl, and we're calling it a soft touch, and it keeps pressure on the piece for you to do other work safely. So,
Ronnie, we were talking today, you and I, and there's a couple of solutions to that touch thing, and one was a tennis ball. I heard that for years and years. Drill a little hole in the tennis ball, thread it on your live center, and then that'll keep putting a mark on. It gives, it moves. This doesn't give and move. And I wanted to go out and find a couple. I've got them in the shape of funnels. I didn't turn the funnel. Got them in the shape of funnels, cups, holders for balls, because you know how hard it is to hold the ball. So you make the piece out of it. You got anything there, Ronnie, besides the soft touch?
no, what I was going to say, you're using a 3/4 10 tap to put the threads in. In order to drill it, you use a 21/32 drill bit.
Okay. And I'm
So-
glad you mentioned you put the C on, let it dry, and then put the tap back in.
Correct, yeah, because if not, your tap will be stuck inside the wood. So
Well, you take a hammer and hit it one time, it comes out. But
So just a little tip: the tennis balls work good if you can line it up where it's not off center. But a lot of times when you put that tennis ball in, it's sometimes tough to get it exactly where you want. This thing is dead on every time.
when you
So,
back it out, you can stand off the little bright spot if you create a little light spot, bright spot.
Does anybody have any questions about this that we can answer?
Ronnie, is that a one-way center?
That's a one-way center.
Not everybody has the threaded end on it, and that's the reason I was wondering.
Yeah. Why are we talking about one way? I don't know if any of you guys have a one-way lathe.
Powermatic's the same.
I don't have a one-way lathe, but I'm gonna put a plug in for one way. About a year and a half ago, Eddie had problems with his lathe, and what had happened on a one-way lathe, the control box is near the floor, and where Eddie has his lathe, the control box got wet, and it damaged the control box. So I went over there, and him and I pulled the control box out, and he sent it back to one way. And when we pulled it out, I took pictures of all the different wires, because there must be 15 wires that connect to that control box. So we took pictures and everything. We shipped it off to one way. They repaired it, sent it back, and I went back over there to help him put it in. And as we were starting to install it, I was looking at the picture, the way it had come out. And I turned to Eddie, I said, look, the wires are different colors that are on this one compared to the way that we took it off. So he told me, no, he says, let's go ahead and put it back on the way that we took it off. So we did. And of course, we didn't take a picture of the one that they had sent. When we were finished, we put it up, we put it back together, and it wasn't working. So Eddie got on the phone, and the gentleman that one way took the time to walk us through every step to correct the wires right then and there. So that's kind of above and beyond the call of duty, and I just feel like y'all ought to hear that from a lay person with a lathe,
Well, I got to add to that, Ronnie. Most American manufacturers or good manufacturers have that in their programs. I mean, if you got a problem, the Robust, they'll practically send somebody to your house to fix it. I mean, and the same thing with a few others. But if you save money on a lathe and you buy something cheap, you're going to get that kind of service. So it's well worth it when you can to move into a little bit better piece of equipment. But Ronnie's right. I just didn't think you'd tell everybody we put it all wrong together wrong.
Well, we put it back together the way it came apart, but that wasn't correct.
But it runs. It's 20 years old and it runs like a dream. Can't argue with it. Don't want to argue with it. It's really great. I had a video gallery to show you tonight, and I got some photographs in today from Joe Klein, and Joe said your neighbor Joe sent you these photographs. I don't know where Joe is from. Somebody just punched up. Dave Chandler, did you have something?
No, not at the moment.
Okay, I saw you went live on me and was trying to see where it came from. With that in mind, we're going to go ahead and pop up the video program for these are the gallery items we received in the last week or so from you, the Turners. And we put this in the show every week, and it also uses for the website, which is under construction, and also for the newsletter. So let's, if I can get onto this right and pop it up here. I got to figure out where you can't dance so you don't hear the music. So now let's hear the music. Uh-oh. Nope, can't dance so we don't hear the music because I didn't turn the music on. Forgive me, folks, because sometimes the monster drives the bus. So gonna do that. Go back to the sharing program. All right, this came in from David Duran, and David's out of Florida, and he does a lot of nice work. He got into the epoxies. This is WHS. He got into doing some Christmas ornaments. The key to this is do them early enough because look at all the designs he came up with. Those are some nice ornaments, WHS, and they give away. Ron Ladliv did this one. I don't know kind of what it was or is, but it came out nice scoop. WHS had one more. He gave us look at two bottoms of some pieces that have a segmented axe ring. Robert Clark out of Mississippi turned this one. It's got Robert's into soft finishes. It looks really good. Here's a guy that is a turned piece. It's dished out, but he forgot to put his name. If you got work you want to put into our program, you have to email it to me, and the email is easy. It's oh, I'm sorry. That's not it. The email address is woodturner. Oh boy, I'll get back to this. worldwidewoodturners@gmail.com, and then we'll get it and we can use it. Remember, as I said earlier, I can't take it from a different source. I put up a second poll, and apparently you don't see that either. So we're going to dump these polls. But let me tell you what we're asking. There's a feature in this program called breakout rooms. And I've watched this with other clubs or other groups, and they'll create a breakout room. The regular meeting goes on. And then at the end of the regular meeting, if you'd like to be in a breakout room for, I got to list them here, pens, finishes, holding and roughing, sanding techniques, things like that. We will create some breakout rooms that you can go into. And when you're in that room, you'll be talking to other wood turners, not me. You'll be talking to other wood turners who have the same interest. So we're going to ask you again next week if you'd like to have these breakout rooms, and what do you want in them? How do you want to handle them? So if you got any comments right now, share it with us. The poll came up on my screen, but I couldn't answer any questions on it. So Ron Radliff just put up a chat, and I can't get to it. both poles, and he said he admitted to he signed up to the polls. Is anybody give me a little feedback here? Did anybody else get to see the polls?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
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 Yeah, I saw the poll.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to look at number 1 and see. Share the results. You see, I'm getting 0. So somehow, well, and wrong poll.
Eddie,
All right.
I'm looking at it right now.
Which one you looking at, Ronnie?
Sharing poll results. Would you like and participate in a breakout room? 41% said yes, 59 said no.
Yeah, I'm seeing it on my other monitor, but I can't get it on the one that I'm talking to you folks on. I'll figure this out, folks. We really will. I did radio for 15 years. I can figure out how to get this done. But I'm doing the same thing I did in radio. Practice. So.
Eddie, if you send that poll again, since you've explained what breakout rooms are, I think you might get a lot more positive.
All right. I'm going to stop the sharing on it. It went away. And I'm going to share the results. That's where we were. And I'm going to close that one down. It's like tap dancing. I don't know if it's right hand or left hand. Nope. I'm polling. It's not giving me what I want, folks, but I'm going to get there. One more try. Would you? Okay. That one, I got to stop. Breakout rooms. I'm going to relaunch it and send it out there, and it just popped up. So would you like to participate in the breakout rooms? It's pretty simple. That's a yes or no one. I've got some others after that. But if you would vote on it, let me know how you want to do it. I told you earlier that Doug is our southwestern contact. He's out teaching something for the military, driving back across the great state, and he will try to join us this evening. I don't know if he's going to make it back. Ron got up and left, but he left a beautiful piece of art here. I'm going to, if I can spotlight this, look at it. That Ron Radcliffe did this, and that's really nice.
The stupid video.
I'm sorry? Here's the spotlight. Now, I was told by Ronnie that he's got somebody in, and I just saw him pop in, Ronnie, to talk about finishes and how he does the finishes. And I'd like to join him right now. I think he's with us. And Ronnie, you want to tell him?
Yeah. Tom Moore, why don't you unmute yourself and tell us how you've been finishing these bowls you've been turning?
Tom, are you there?
Can you hear us, Tom?
Tom, you're being asked to unmute, so you got to press the space bar. Tom?
I'm trying.
All right, now you got it.
Okay. I use the sanding solution, and then I go to the OB Shine. I wait about a half hour, 45 minutes to an hour, and then I come back with the CA glue, and it's working fine with me.
Okay, so you're putting the CA directly over the OB Shine juice?
Yes, and it's working fine. I do. Ronnie has suggested to give it more time than I was, so I'm going at least an hour to 2 hours before I put the CA glue on it. But it seems to give me a nice shine after, and it also gives me a colorful background on the vessel.
Good. Thank you, Tom. You know, a lot of folks don't understand it. If you finish a piece that's all scratched up, it's like putting lipstick on a pig. It's still going to be a pig.
Yes.
And what are you sanding to before you start this?
Oh, I sand all the way down to 600. I sand it until it's smooth as anything, and then I apply the solution onto it.
Good. All right, Tom. Good idea. We'll talk with Mark Soleil in the near future when he does some programming for us to ask if there are any shortcuts or tips on doing this. He's a great fan of the Parafix, and so is Ronnie and a handful of other guys. In fact, pardon me, the list is probably unending right now with folks that have tried Parafix or something like it in the last couple of weeks. Let me ask you one more time. If you haven't voted yet, vote and then close it so we can get an idea of what we're doing here. But he's going to talk about it because there are other products you can use to accomplish a CA finish. But if you're looking for a good one that's easy and again almost guaranteed, that's Ronnie swears by it, and everything he's been doing lately, or for a couple of years, Ronnie, I believe.
Yeah.
Is being finished with that product. So, and he really, really likes it. Okay. And I'm going to try to share the results here and see what he came up. There you go. This is, would you like to participate in breakout rooms? 80%? All right. 80% of the folks that we asked to see them came up with this. Now I've got one more. And I know this is probably killing you. I'm going to launch this one. You'll be able to see it. Remember, you can grab the top bar and slide it out the way after you vote if it's blocking my gorgeous mug. Give us a better idea of where we're going to go and what we're going to do. All right. I got a little note here that we're going to do some member tip challenge. Now, I'd like to say we're going to give away something. We got nothing to give away. We have no sponsors. We're not going to go and jump in bed with somebody to get a free pair of shoes or a pair of sunglasses. That's not going to happen. But if you've got a tip or a hint, we'd like you to share it with us. We'll give you accolades. We'll talk about it. You'll be the guy that shared this and this and this with us. Backing up a little bit. A lot of you have used OB Shine Juice. Tom was just now talking about it. There's no such product as OB Shine Juice. OB Lacoste out of Lafayette taught me a lot about wood turning, and he came up with this third mixture, which leaves you with a shellac finish. The alcohol puts a shellac on, and the oil buffs it down. And first time I saw OB use it, I said, that's going to be OB Shine Juice. And just as a joke at the next meeting, I produced 2 bottles of OB Shine Juice, labels and everything on them. And one of them said, it is so simple. If you needed to be any more simple, I'll have to come over to your house and do it my own damn self. Because it was a very foolproof product. But it's soft. If you do it and people handle this stuff, these are dirty. I mean, these are really dirty. There are a lot of oils in them. And they'll beat up your finish. Ronnie's finishing a table for his house. And where they put their arms down on the table, it's a dining room table, the skin oils on the arms are eating up the finish. So he did the finish on a while back. It ate up the finish. He's taking it off and going for another finish right now. And to see how that's going to make out. But he found one that's resistant to skin oils. The OB Shine Juice is not resistant to skin oils. It's a shellac finish. It was always made to be a base coat or an undercoat or a seal coat. A long time ago when I did wood floors, the first pass was a shellac pass. And then we brushed it off, honed it out, and then went back over the top with the floor finish. And that's how the floors were done. So it's a great base. But you see, the thing OB Shine Juice came from him giving us the idea on how to do this. It's like the soft touch. That came from OB. There's a pile of tools in my shop. When we get where I can take this laptop out to the shop and hook up out there, and it's coming soon. We can share a lot of these ideas because we get things sent to us or emailed to me. That some great ideas. We got a guy that's crazy. You wouldn't believe some of the stuff he showed me. I hadn't shown you because somebody should go over and take his lathe away. But we're looking for a member tip challenge, and we'll figure out a way to award something to somebody. Probably free membership. You like that idea? Free membership? Okay. I told you earlier, if you want to record this program, you have to send me an email, and you can record the program. It'll record from where you start recording, which is on your screen, until we end. But if you want to do chat and you want to record the chat information, like Eddie Martin from the UK, I can help explain the breakout rooms. Want to look like I'm pushing my group into your group? I'm all right with that. Martin Clarkson. All right, I'm out. He's in the UK. But yeah, we'd like to continue on that. Dane Chandler, I think, is up here right now. Dane, I saw your hand go up. What you got, sir?
Yes, I just wanted to add on to what you were saying about the Shine Juice. But I downloaded last week's meeting because I was laid up with my back waiting for an epidural. Went through good yesterday. But anyhow, so somebody was saying last week they had some Eastern red cedar and they were having issues with trying to put a proper finish on it. If you use your sanding sealer and sand through your grits through your normal process and then follow it up with 1 or 2 coats of the OB Shine Juice, let that cure, gas off for about an hour, and then follow it with a super glue finish or a wipe on poly. It'll come out shinier than a diamond in a goat's ass.
That term, but okay, thank you, Dane. But that's true. It's a soft finish. You can improve it with the top coat, and that's where a lot of us are using CA. But you can use other coats. If it can go over shellac, it can go over OB Shine Juice, and there's a couple of different mixtures. Somebody else popped up. I heard a blurb, but I don't see anything. Remember, you want to talk, you got to push down the space bar. All right, let's do a little bit of show and tell. That's the fancy term for gallery. If you got a gallery piece you'd like to show us, go ahead and click on your mic or raise your hand or whatever. I'm putting Dane's hand down. I think we already covered his question.
Oh, I was going to do a show and tell.
Oh, okay, Dan. I'm sorry. I got you. Now I got you back. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
So let me flip my camera around. Okay. So this is a same ugly piece of mesquite that I was working on 2 weeks ago when I started it, except I hadn't done any resin yet. But as you can see, it's laden with termite tracks. And so I've been filling it with resin with different type of orange pearl coloration in it. I'm going to be redoing my handle cutouts here, putting hand carving some echelons to go over. Wood got so punky it started breaking out and I just couldn't stop cutting on it. Here's the other side. You can see it's got nice color coming through. And then here's what it's looking like on the inside. So you can see there's a lot of resin mixes in here. And so how I make the dams for it, I use industrial strength duct tape and tape up along the side walls. Obviously, I'll take it off the chuck and set it up on top of the workbench. And then just pour the resin in. Currently, I've been using System 3 epoxy resin, 15-minute cure time, and it starts setting up at a probably 14-minute mark. So it works really good. I let it cure for about 4 hours. It's ready to be turned or go under the knife after about that time. but it's been slow going, and hopefully I'll have it done by next week's meeting, and I plan on finishing it with a clear aluminite slow cure resin for the final finish on it.
Thank you, Dane. And Mesquite, you can find easy if you go to Tucson, Arizona, and don't mind walking in the desert, correct?
That is correct. It's everywhere.
Everywhere. All right. Thank you, Dane. I worked on a project in Texas, Mesquite, Texas, and every morning the tumbleweeds would blow up against the fence. And the senior superintendent would tell me, take the dozer and go crunch them all down so they don't roll into the building, into the yard. And after a while, I realized they were all mesquite. So I'd run over them, put them in an onion bag, and bring them back to my dad. He loved it. Okay, who else has got a show and tell or gallery item? Come on, you guys are turning wood. What's up?
I got one, Eddie. It's
okay,
not but it's Billy Dillard from Louisiana, Houma. It is a piece of, it's actually 2 pieces of Spanish cedar because I don't have a lot of pieces of wood to work with, but it has a piece of Chilean cypress actually in the middle of it. And I had just put this this new Parfix finish on it, so I'm kind of working with that. It's kind of new to me, but it looks like it worked really well. You can see some chipping here. My tools wasn't very sharp. I'm still waiting on my diamond sharpening tool. Been waiting on it for about a month now, but it turned out really well. I mean, it was kind of a hurry up, get it ready for tonight type deal. But the finish turned out really well for the first time using that Parfix.
Right, it did come out nice. Really.
Spanish cedar is very splintery. I just had it, so I used it. Still learning, so I figure I'll learn with something that's not so expensive.
Yeah, I have found that product that you better be really good with your scraper if you want to get a great finish with that. And keep in mind, when you're using a scraper, you get 1 pass.
Oh yeah.
2. Maybe 2 passes, but after that, your bird's gone. You got to improve it. Anybody else to show and tell tonight?
Yeah, Eddie, I've got a piece here. Got my hand up, Gerald.
Gerald, okay, Gerald.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me get you up here.
Okay.
There you are, sir.
Oh, okay. I'm a segmenter, and been working on some urns. This one is a threaded lid that's threaded into stabilized maple. Hand chastened threads or even machine cut threads into our domestic woods tend to chip out pretty much, but by stabilizing them, you get a real nice solid thread and a piece that isn't going to move very much, if anything at all, with changes in the weather. We're getting a lot of humidity up here in Wisconsin now, and I kind of expected this thing to stick on me when I started to turn it tonight, but no problem with it so far. And then over the weekend, I think you were in the same Cindy Drozda thing that I was in. So just playing around the last day or so, I tried, some of her techniques here, and I think I came fairly close on it.
Gerald, I don't use the term copycat very often. But
no, it's research.
Oh, research. Okay, all right. But it is a good-looking piece. Did you like Cindy's demo?
Oh, she is terrific. I think probably, she's the quintessential demonstrator. My club had her for a demo last year, and I would gladly participate in any demo that she does because I always learn something from her demos, and she really has it down. She knows what she's doing.
Yeah, and it flows. It really flows. There's
Absolutely.
No him, no haw, no commercialism. She just flows.
Yeah.
And
some of them are always trying to sell you something. I'm not going to name any names, but I've been in them where they've tried to sell you their hollowing rig or, some other tool that they manufacture. And she makes a lot of tools, and she'll gladly sell them to you, but she's not using the demonstration as a sales vehicle.
I was amazed that all the cutting and stuff she did. Only at one point did she use the tool. She says, "I make this."
Yeah,
And
exactly.
it was the one tool. The Bayou Wood Turners, the Southern Bayou Wood Turners, has her coming in 2 weeks, I believe, or by Zoom in 2 weeks to do it. It's extremely reasonable. And I tell you what, if I haven't somebody, last time we had Cindy, it ran $30-something a head. And this time I think it's $10.05 or whatever. But it's, that makes them reasonable to bring them in, not just once a year, but this is a locomotive running out of control. It's, these things are going to be great. Thank you, Gerald. Anybody else with gallery? I'm going to post the results of that survey I just put up. Let's see if it comes up here. There we are. Sanding and finishing? No, I'm just amazed. No problem. The basics got a good turnout. Chucking and roughing. If you can hold it, you can turn it. Rub the bevel. That's gonna be a thing we're gonna talk a bit with Mark Soleil about, because some folks don't understand what any of that is, and gouge is a good term for some of these tools we use. Sanding and finishing, and then very special details. All right, a good turnout. Good turnout. I'm going to keep this, and it's going to give us a better idea what to do for growing. And I think everybody participated. Charlie or Johnny, you back again?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's up, Johnny?
Not much. I had a couple of little things too. I've got a threaded box here. And these are cut with a threading jig, but they were stabilized with the CA glue. So, and I've got some smaller ones that I make here that are hand threaded.
I want you to back up, Johnny. You said threading jig. What threading jig?
It's the Chefware makes one.
All right.
And it's their threading jig, and I do it on there. And now some of them I turn by hand. This is a little keepsake urn that I make for a local funeral home. They're hand threaded.
Okay, great. I like hand threading, but I built one sort of like, there was Lady Turner that had these out years ago, and I didn't copy her design. I based mine on that design, and it worked out great. I just can't find it. What else you got, Johnny?
And that's another one there that's threaded on the jig. It's funny, I made this for, I made some doors for Mark Soleil's son, and this was a piece of scrap mahogany we had left over that I threaded.
Now that's got a joint in it? Put that back up there.
Yeah,
that joint came out really nice. You got a grain match on it?
Pardon me?
Did you have a grain match?
Yes.
Wow.
I had to on it, and I put the little swirl on the top of it.
What'd you do the swirl with?
The Sorby texturing tool.
Thought so. The big one or the little one?
That was the big one.
Okay. I love that little one. It's a toy.
Yes, it is. But
anything else, Johnny?
No, that's it. I just had those few little boxes here in that urn.
Okay, and we got the floor open right now. If you have something you want to talk about or show us, we want it. Where you at? Say again.
This is Mark Morris.
Mark Morris. Wow, man, my screen went crazy on me just now. Wouldn't believe what popped up. But go ahead, Mark. Go ahead.
Yeah. This is a little piece of magnolia that I did. I turned it wet, fried it in the microwave, and so it's pretty good.
Great coloring, yeah, good coloring.
Yeah, it's got some nice, and it was a just a lacquer finish on it. So, and then I put the little design on the bottom. I also had one that I did a while back that I got to do a little bit more work to, and this is juniper, and both of these came out of Atlanta. So this got a little rough But that's what I got.
All right,
And
thank you.
also, I've had a course with Mark on that cutting. He's really good, so that'll be good.
My term of him being gruff is a pretty good term, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but he teaches it. He teaches it well. I've seen it a couple of times.
But we all, when we reach that age, are a little gruff, so whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Talk about gruff or ungruff. I think he finally made it back in town. Hello. How you doing, Doug? You didn't press the button, Doug.
I'm doing good. I'm here.
Alrighty. How'd you make out on that pitting on a candy jar?
Hey, it's good to go. I can show you guys a little bit. And well, you got me up there for everybody. I just wanted to say to everybody that mailed in those pens, thank you, thank you, thank you. I got those distributed yesterday. It was a late night. I've got pictures though, Eddie. I'll get those into you so we can probably have those ready for next week's meeting. But the soldiers they loved what you all did for them. So on behalf of all those men and women that got pens yesterday, and actually it was over the last few days I was distributing them, but last night was the big push where, over 100 soldiers getting ready to take that trip got those pens from you guys. And it was awesome. The smiles on their faces was really cool to see. So thank you.
All right, and we're not done, Doug. We got to remind folks that they turn the pen and they give it to the people who work below the minimum wage but live and die for our freedom. If you want to give them a pen, and I get on that, I normally get on that rant a little bit. Turn a pen. You send it to us at the club address. My address, 330 Highway Drive in Jefferson, Louisiana, and that's on our newsletter. And I will get it to Doug. It's just that easy. And boy, we had 200 or 300 in the last box, didn't we?
Man, it was a lot. It was a lot, and it was awesome. So again, thank you. Everybody kept saying, "Hey, tell these guys and these men and women thank you." And some of y'all had put cards in there and whatever. And I asked the soldiers, I said, "I know you're busy. If you happen to get one with a card in it or whatever, and you have the time, please shoot them an email, whatever." So you may get one. You may not. Again, these guys have a lot of stuff going on in their lives right now between trying to square things away with their civilian employers, their families, and getting ready to jump on that plane and go do that field trip. So, again, thanks.
Thank you, Doug. And I want to say that folks that didn't follow us last week or missed us last week, Doug is doing a candy bowl. It's kind of not a regular. Well, are you going to go to it, Doug? Let me see. I got to do this. I got to spotlight you again.
Okay.
All right. All right, and that is a candy. Whoa, I lost them again. All right, go back to the spotlight. There we are.
There we go.
That is candy. And he put it in resin.
Let me grab it out of here right quick. I should have had that ready, guys, but I got in late from work. It was a late night last night, and I'm just running home. So there's your. They sell these at Valentine's Day. I'll buy them a little bit at the beginning and during the season, but I really hit up the stores at the end of the season when they're all marked down, and I'll just stock up on them. So at any rate, mix that bad boy up in a round cardboard box with some resin. Let it harden up in a pressure pot, and then you throw it up on the lathe and you turn it just like you would a chunk of wood. The bottom has not been sanded yet. I ran out of time. And look at how clear that is, and that has not been sanded yet. Once I get that sanded up, you're going to see right through that bad boy.
And your shop's got to smell like a candy factory.
It smells so sweet when you're turning it. But then you throw the CA glue on there, and that kind of takes away the nice sweet smell.
Great. And folks, we're going to have a demonstration video of some photographs on this because it's something you can do. It's Doug's pretty good turner, but if you're looking to expand your horizon a little bit, that might be the way to do it. All right. Thank you, Doug. Now,
thank you.
I hope I get things back. I was working on some stuff this week about tools, and with that in mind, I'm going to show you some of the things. I've been scooping stuff off of catalogs and all for the last couple of weeks.